Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are joined by Bill Noble over from Tokenmetrics. He is the senior market analyst there, and today he's going to be talking to us a little bit about Tokenmetrics and the products and services that they offer. Because guys, as you know, Tim has been doing a lot with Tokenmetrics. I've been looking at it quite a bit myself, and it's a very helpful tool to understand not only what cryptocurrency markets are doing right now, but what cryptos might be the best to look into moving into the future. Bill, welcome to the channel. Thank you so very much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I've got to say, I love the rockets in the background. It matches the branding very well. I like the hat too. I was just saying off camera, you guys have some wonderful branding. It's very crypto-esque. I used to be a student of astrophysics, so I love the rockets. I used to study that quite a bit. I never went to college for it, but I always planned to, and then I dropped out of college to start a YouTube channel, and here we are. So, Bill, can you tell us just a little bit about the story of Tokenmetrics and where it came from and what its mission and what its vision is for the space?
Certainly. So the CEO, Ian Bellina, had a background at IBM in AI and Watson analytics. And during the ICO boom of 2017, he turned, 20,000 into 5 million.
Wow.
Using, data analytics about the small coins that were coming out. So he shared the spreadsheet with the world. Wound up on the Today Show by the time all was said and done. Then Ian Bellina, took that money and his knowledge of what happened, with altcoins on the first wave and put it into Tokenmetrics, right? Which was a more robust, obviously, AI platform than just a spreadsheet. So there's AI and machine learning that helps, rank cryptos and then put them into categories where you can buy them and sell them. But the genesis of Tokenmetrics and the best story about it was, he spent the bear market developing it. And then literally at the bottom, he just woke up one day, called the tech guys and said, we're launching, right? And that was at the absolute bottom. And then things turned with COVID when the Fed printed $6 trillion. Yeah. Tokenmetrics was off to the races.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I think it's very helpful for people because, people in this space, we talk about this concept of financial sovereignty all the time. We want people to be able to take control over their finances and their financial situations, their financial systems, put them back into their hands. Then one of the best ways to do that is being educated on the space and having knowledge of not only where the market's been, but where the market's going. So it sounds like Ian was able to use his experience in making a lot of money in crypto to go and help pass that along to other people. Would you say that that's one of the things that Tokenmetrics is trying to do is, take the success that launched it and then pass it on to other people and make it accessible to the broader public?
Right. In other words, we're looking to empower everybody, right? Normally AI, machine learning, or even like having an advanced analyst team, is really something that's only for institutions. So we're trying to bring the power of all these things to retail. So you can do things like find hidden gems or stay out of the way of big crashes.
I think that's a really good way of looking at it. It's almost democratizing a high-level advanced understanding of the market. Well, talking about that, let's go ahead and take a look at Tokenmetrics. Do you have the ability to show it and kind of break down some of the features and benefits of it?
I certainly can.
Good deal.
So this is our new markets page. All right. And this graph is, special. So what Tokenmetrics does is it uses AI and machine learning to rank a large number of cryptos, right? And then our quantitative team of financial mathematics takes all these grades, right? And then turns it into a signal for the overall market. So in equities terms, we're looking at the market bottom up, right? And what they do is they plot buy and sell signals using this sort of aggregated method onto a chart of total crypto market cap. Now, zooming in on the last 3 months, I came up with something on my show, right, where I said, beware the failed rally, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you have bear markets, it's up and then down. So this aggregated signal went bullish on the 24th, but then it turned around on April 9th and went negative. So this is now available to the general public. This is something I was using with our quant team, and it's now available. It's called our markets page. Now we have something else, and I'm going to give you my interpretation of this. So this little dial is a little bit like fear greed, except it just counts the number of coins that are above like a 60-day exponential moving average. And you're like, Bill, what's up with the 60-day moving average? Well, our AI guys and quant guys back tested that as one of the best ways to look at the market. So obviously we're in an oversold situation with only 6% of coins above their 60-day average. Now, the interpretation of that, right, is, yes, it's oversold, but when you have an oversold market and it doesn't bounce or it doesn't come back, historically, some of the biggest crashes that have occurred when the market has been oversold. Right. So this is something that we're definitely watching. This is a plot in yellow and white of total crypto market cap. And, you have altcoin market cap in green and Bitcoin in yellow. So I believe that when total altcoin market cap and Bitcoin market cap converge and almost, it's almost the same number like it was in July, that may be your bottom. Okay. So we also have just a general indicator, right? So obviously when altcoins are getting hit, people favor Bitcoin. So we've been in what we call Bitcoin season for a while where, people just hold BTC instead of alts, right? And when it presses up into the green, those are obviously situations where alts have done well. So when you come out of Bitcoin season, that's when there's the big opportunity in alts. And one thing that you might see from this graph is that once you kind of like, once there's a thud in altcoins and everyone just kind of goes to Bitcoin, it does take the market a while to recover. So thud, recover, thud, this took a longer time in March. Okay. This is another feature. It's called historical volatility. The yellow line can be looked at as fear, major dumps, huge price moves intraday, right? Or during the day. So again, you had a huge spike in May of last year. Now you had another spike now, but it's interesting that spike in volatility was nowhere what May's was, right? So frequently the bottom in the market, won't go through it again, occurs after the big spike, right? And then I have one final indicator down here, which is really interesting. We've got this Tokenmetrics AI grade, right? And now we're grading sectors. So let's say you want to be like, okay, I want to invest in the metaverse, and our grades usually go from 0 to 80. In an uptrend, grades above 80, that's good momentum play. But we also want to watch for jumps. Like I want to see if the grade jumps from 50 to 70, right? And we track that. Okay. So, if you're like, hey, I want to get involved in gaming, but the Tokenmetrics grade is below 1, then perhaps waiting would be a good idea. Okay. And I said finally, but there is one interesting thing we have here. So this is a scatter plot. And one thing you want to find out in altcoins is whether or not, hey, this small altcoin move, but was it on volume? Is it a pump and dump? What's happening? So in this graph, we can look at altcoins that are moving, right, on high volume. So the yellow dots are coins that are moving up on high volume, right? And there's a lot of different little coins, and you can perhaps click on them and like do your own research with that, right? In other words, how do you filter the world to find the hidden gems, right? So there's also, you can look at this a couple of different ways. Those are the positive ones, right? These are the down ones. This is what's going down on higher volume. So one of the questions in bear markets always is, hey, what about my coin, right? This can be a way for you to go through that. Now, let's talk about the Tokenmetrics grading system using the Terra Luna example. So one of the things we look for is for the grade to actually start moving before price moves. We really we like to do this in small coins, But here's an example, right? Now, in Luna, the Tokenmetrics grade was 17 and the price was 51. So the grade spiked, and then Luna sort of slid sideways and went into a broader uptrend all the way up to 105. Now, when Luna turned over, the Tokenmetrics grade crashed all the way down to 80, all the way down to 19, when Luna was at 81. And one of the things you'll note is that when the Tokenmetrics grade crashed, it never really recovered, which kept you out of this false rally here. And then eventually Luna crashed. So what I tell people is, you know, when you get them, I call it the mountain formation. When the grade goes up, you can be long, but when that grade crashes, right, when you see like 80, 70, 50, out, right? And if it goes all the way down, stay out, right? So that's an example of how the grade will work. Let me go and see if this will load. We have a different version of this. You know, it follows momentum, moving averages, as well as quant indicators that you would find, say, in a technical analysis, I'm sorry, in a business school textbook. Right. So if you combine the AI grading system with the trend following system, okay, yeah, the trend following system did sell after it was down, but it never got back in. Right. Remember, beware the failed rally.
Yep.
Okay. So beware the failed rally happened over in Luna. Now, another new feature is we're sort of aggregating a lot of the work we do for every coin. And over here on the left, we're sort of giving you a dial as to where that coin is. So obviously, Bitcoin and a lot of other things are trending lower. So the dial is going to be marked over at sell. And I would say, obviously, that you want to be extra careful if it goes to strong sell and stays there, right? Because that's, you know, you've heard all things about the stock market down eight weeks in a row. You know, Bitcoin versus Tether on Binance was also down 8 weeks in a row.
Yep.
You know, our work shows that, you know, the last time you saw stuff like that was back in 1929. So you got to be really careful about that using this type of dial, right? And then, you know, here it is for Ethereum. So ironically, Ethereum has not really gotten up off the mat yet. And then to complete the tour, okay, we have our analyst team put together a spreadsheet, right, where we're actually tracking. Here's the Tokenmetrics grade, right? And here's the AI's change in the grade. So we're looking for something where the AI goes, hey, check this out. Now, sometimes that's after a big price move, okay? So you would never really probably think to take a look at this, right, Santos? But, you know, the grade has started moving with price. Now, is that the best idea in the world? I don't know yet, right? But what I've been telling people about, you know, this is God's Unchained, right? And one thing that is interesting here is the grade is moving up with a small move in price. So if the grade keeps moving, you might be able to find small caps where, say, there is another heave lower in this market after Memorial Day, that you can find what's next in crypto. People ask me, Bill, what are the 5 biggest cryptos going to be 5 years from now? And I say, well, they may not exist yet, or they may be really small cap coins that you've got to find while things are going low, right? In other words, everyone says, oh, I can't wait for the bear market so I can buy.
Yeah.
And then the bear market shows
up. And then
it
hits.
Right. And then it hits. Okay. But I think the best time to do homework to find the hidden gems is literally to use Tokenmetrics, right? To try to find small coins that are doing well. Now, if the market does go back up, right? And actually there's 2 ways to use this. So one of the things that we do is we make indices. And what's that? Well, you know, we look at the AI grades, and then, you know, this will look across all exchanges. We have other indices that are exchange specific up here in the corner. So if you can only do Coinbase every day, every week, every month, our AI will pick, the coins that they think are best based on AI and then allocate them using finance math. So a couple takeaways, right? So if you're if you're on Coinbase, it's allocating 27% to Bitcoin. So goes back to one of those earlier charts. It's kind of being safe, right? Can't find any altcoins on Coinbase. Now, for the all exchange index, here is what I can tell you. Right now, the good news is that the all exchange index is picking small cryptos. That's good. Because if the market ever gets to a point where Tokenmetrics all exchange index is picking Pax Gold, stable coins, etc., and I've seen it go to all stable coins, maybe with a little oil or some of these mirrored stock tokens, and that is another signal to get out. Right? Okay. That's a signal. So to be a warning sign, to be like, when it's almost like a portfolio manager moving to all cash.
Right.
So the indices can help you pick coins on the way up, right? And they can help get you out of trouble on the way down. So that's the story of Tokenmetrics. And we have human analysts that publish reports. We have NFT analysts, a YouTube channel, a premium group where, you get access to me and all the other analysts directly, right? So it's the AI, machine learning, right? Software as a service. And then there's, technical analysts like me, plus guys that are, they're combing through the whole world of altcoins, trying to find that next big gem. Our NFT guys, they found the Zuki at like 2 ETH.
Wow.
It took off.
Wow.
So, this combination tries to bring institutional level analysis to the retail investor.
That's very powerful. That's very powerful. And I think it's really interesting too, because a lot of the data points that you're showing there, such as the fact that when the altcoins are less popular, that typically means that we're in a downtrend and that Bitcoin's dominant. That's something that I've talked about for a very long time, but it's kind of difficult to point to an actual data on that. It's something that you just kind of notice when you've been doing TA for a long time, but it's hard to visualize because you don't have the actual data right there in front of you. But what you're doing is you're aggregating that in a way that is visual. That there's a lot of different trends that you might notice that wouldn't necessarily show up on a price action chart. But because you have something like Tokenmetrics, then you would actually be able to see and analyze those trends and say, okay, well, this has happened 15 times. And so therefore, then we could expect it to happen again because it happened 13 of the last 15 times.
Right. And we have that kind of capability. So this is what you're talking about when people go Bitcoin season and stayed there.
Yeah. And the same thing I was talking about with the altcoin versus Bitcoin market dominance, like you said, right in there. I think the total crypto market caps, that's a very good point. How when they converge, that typically means people are going more in Bitcoin, and that might be signaling close to a bottom.
Right. In other words, when that green line, which is altcoin market cap, gets close to the yellow line, which is Bitcoin market cap, a lot of times that's where, you start looking for a bottom.
Right.
Now, we've never seen an overshoot, but this may be a situation where Bitcoin dominance goes from, I don't know, 42 to, go over 50, because the range is, what the range is, right? But this is a way for people, like you said, to get a visual on things you couldn't normally see. Absolutely.
Well, Bill, you guys have some great data there, and the algorithms that you're using seem to be very advanced. And it looks like that there's a lot of signals and analysis that you can do on a lot of the charts and different data that you guys provide that otherwise you wouldn't be able to. It seems very user friendly to boot. So, Bill, we're going to have to go. But what are any final thoughts? Any final things you'd like to say on to our audience about this? Why should people get Tokenmetrics?
Okay, Tokenmetrics can do two things, right? It can help you find the small coins, right? Especially in an era where people are discouraged, right? And then Tokenmetrics can help keep you out of trouble. Nobody thinks about car insurance until something happens with their car, right? So Tokenmetrics can both find the hidden gems and keep you out of trouble, right? Portfolio insurance, right? AI, and then an analytics team and a YouTube channel that can really, help you be a one-person research team, because every crypto trader is effectively their own hedge fund. So we can help you think and act like your own crypto hedge fund.
Well, that's a really good way of putting it. I like the insurance analogy, and that's definitely something that people should consider is that, hey, it's hard to get all this data. It's much easier if you have it aggregated in one central location, not centralized, because we're not talking cryptos. We're talking Tokenmetrics that analyzes cryptos, but in one place. I think that's very, very helpful for people. And guys, you should definitely check out Tokenmetrics. All the links and everything that you need, all those resources will be down in the description box down below. Mr. Bill Noble, thank you so very much for coming on the channel. Is there anywhere that we can find you? You said that you have a show, right?
Right. So Tokenmetrics has a YouTube channel. So youtube.com/Tokenmetrics, at Tokenmetrics Inc. on Twitter. Right. And then, we also have, if you like watching TV, let me see if I can get it to come up. We actually also have Tokenmetrics Television. So if you've got a tablet or a TV, and you want to watch our shows on television, this app is available in the App Store. But tokenmetrics.com is where you can get the portfolio insurance.
Good deal. Well, guys, thank you so very much for watching. My Southern accent came out there a little bit. Mr. Bill Noble, thank you so very much for coming on. And thank you guys. Before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, comment down below so we can continue to give you the best videos possible. Peace.